Hi, everyone. My name is Seth Patton, and I'm a general manager on the modern work team at Microsoft. A lot has changed over the past couple of years, especially when it comes to how, when, where, and why people work. In this session, I'm going to share the role technology can play in shaping the new digital employee experience. And we'll discuss ways these new innovations can be applied to create a better experience for everyone. Let's dig in. At Microsoft, we've been conducting research and studying the data to understand trends that will affect the future of work. One thing that we've learned is that employee expectations have changed. In fact, 73% of workers say they want more flexible remote work options. At the same time, 67% say that they want more in-person collaboration. So we refer to this as the hybrid paradox. In addition, over 40% of employees are considering leaving their current job. This is referred to as the Great Resignation, or what we call the Great Reshuffle. People aren't just choosing a job based on a location and a paycheck. They want flexibility. They want clarity on how their work makes a difference. They want a culture where they feel like they belong and are valued. They want opportunity for growth and development, and they want a better work-life balance. In short, they want a better employee experience. And now it's clear that the war on talent will be fought on employee experience. The good news is that the data also shows when we invest in our people and in the employee experience, it can have a direct impact on business performance. In fact, according to this recent research by Gallup, businesses with highly engaged employees achieve better customer satisfaction, higher sales, and overall greater profitability. From a technology perspective, we think about the year 2020 as the year work moved home, but in reality, it's the year work moved to the cloud. If you just take the Microsoft collaboration services alone, things like Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, Yammer, there are now hundreds of millions of people collaborating 30 billion minutes every day. And that's more than double 2 years ago. In many ways, our digital employee experience has become the new employee experience. And delivering these in a modern way that preserves security, privacy, and trust is more important than ever. Tools like Microsoft Teams helped us adapt to remote work, but there's so much more we can do to create a great employee experience. We believe what is needed is an integrated experience that puts the employee at the center and then brings together all the resources and tools that employee needs to learn, connect, and grow, all within the context of their work and in the tools they use to do their work. Organizations have invested in a lot of tools in the areas that you see around the semicircle here. But too often, they are fragmented and disconnected from where people actually do their work. Our vision is an integrated employee experience that puts people at the center and brings all of these tools together, along with powerful insights that empower people and teams to be their best from wherever they choose to work. Now we'll walk through a few notable innovation areas that we see making a big impact in this new hybrid world. The 4 areas we'll cover are culture and communications, hybrid meetings, employee well-being, knowledge, and skilling. Let's start with culture and communications. Some of the big questions leaders are asking today are things like, how do we maintain purpose and alignment when we're all working in different places? How do we maintain connections and social capital? How do we make sure teams are aligned on the right goals? 55% of employees report feeling less connected to their team than they did before going remote or hybrid. And 62% of frontline workers feel that leadership doesn't really prioritize building culture. A traditional method of water cooler conversations, on-site perks, just aren't sufficient anymore. Instead, there's a big role that technology can play in helping employees build community, helping leaders communicate and engage with employees wherever they are located. For example, one of our customers, Bloom, was looking for a way to better connect its global workforce of over 8,000 employees. In particular, they wanted to make sure that their 2,000 factory workers who didn't have regular access to computers or email were able to get real-time access to company communications and the resources. With Microsoft Viva, Bloom created a single hub for all their employees to access company information and communication, things like messaging colleagues, reserving time off, reviewing pay stubs, and ordering snacks for breaks. This hub is available on mobile devices so that employees can stay connected regardless of where they're working. Their employees love Viva so much that it's the only technology Bloom includes on their company recruiting video. Another example is right here at Microsoft. Transforming our culture has been a top priority over the last few years. We certainly don't have all the answers, but we've learned a lot. And I am proud to say that in our latest employee survey, 90% of Microsoft employees reported feeling engaged and included. That's an all-time high. And that's in a year where 160,000 employees shifted to working from home, and we virtually onboarded 50,000 new employees. Microsoft uses Viva Connections to provide a fast, branded employee app right in Microsoft Teams on the desktop and mobile, and it's customized for specific roles. It creates a single destination for employees to get to company information and resources. And then we've branded Viva Connection as our Microsoft company app. It's available for all employees to download from the App Store and Teams, and it turns our company intranet into a more engaging and personal experience, connecting people with information, with news and events, and with each other. It also includes return to work resources, things like health checks and office equipment requests. And importantly, it includes online communities, so people can participate in conversations, employee resource groups across their organization, fostering a more inclusive culture. Another important element to culture is enabling leaders to connect and engage with employees at scale. For example, our CEO and the rest of our senior leadership team hold a monthly town hall for all employees. They engage with employees throughout the month in the CEO Connection community, getting a pulse on employee questions and sentiment before, during, and after the town hall. This creates a two-way conversation between leaders and employees. Next, let's look at meetings. Now, meetings have always been a cornerstone of teamwork, and that's even more true today with so many online meetings. But let's face it, meetings aren't always productive. And as people start going back into offices, how do we ensure a good experience for everyone, whether they're in the room or not? Maintaining inclusive and equitable meeting experiences is a big challenge. To address this, we really need to think about designing meetings as much for the people who are not in the room as the people who are. This is an example of a meeting using Microsoft Teams rooms, with innovations like advanced cameras that put the focus on the active speaker, the new front row view, and live captions, which really makes it feel like you are all together, as well as digital whiteboards that people can collaborate on, whether they're in the room or not. And you can see here, using AI to see if someone raises their hand during a meeting. We've always relied on physical space to bring people together, but now with the metaverse, we need to expand our definition of space to include virtual meeting rooms, conferences, and events. Here's an example of an immersive space we created with one of our partners with lobbies, welcome areas, and meeting rooms, even collaborative workspaces. Using AI, we can imitate gestures, voice, and tone, even when our camera is turned off. Think of all those conferences and events you would have liked to attended, but you can't because of travel costs or time. You don't want to miss watching your daughter's tennis match or piano recital. We're also bringing avatars into Teams that mimic your facial expressions and gestures. This is great for those times where maybe you're joining a meeting after a sweaty workout or you just rolled out of bed. The next innovation area is employee well-being. Studies show the shift to remote work had a negative impact on well-being, especially for younger generations. Maintaining productivity isn't enough. It needs to be sustainable, safe, and healthy. Well-being is increasingly important for employees and for managers to sustain productivity and help our organizations become more resilient. A good place to start is by empowering people with data about how they are working and then provide insights and recommendations in the flow of their work. For example, Microsoft Viva provides personalized insights like how much time you're spending in email, chats, and meetings, how much time you have left over for focused work, and how much time you are working after hours. Then Viva gives you nudges and recommendations for things like taking breaks, sending praise to colleagues, built-in meditations with Headspace, and a virtual commute to mindfully wind down your workday. One of my favorite features is the Protect Time feature, which helps me block time in my calendar for focus work or for learning. And then as a manager, I get privacy-protected insights about how my team is doing. For example, I can see if my team is at risk of burnout, and then get recommendations for how to address. Through these insights and other employee listening mechanisms, we've started to implement our own well-being practices and principles at Microsoft. For example, we encourage employees to use the delay delivery feature when sending emails after hours, shortening meetings by 5 to 10 minutes to allow for a break in between meetings, and taking well-being days to fully disconnect and recharge. Finally, let's talk about knowledge and skilling. Learning and skills development ranks near the top of both CEO and employee priorities, but people only spend 1% of their work week on formal learning. And they spend more than an hour a day searching for information or experts they need to complete projects. The way people learn and share knowledge is also changing. It's transforming from traditional classroom training to training that's more collaborative, social, peer-to-peer learning, often from the experts within your own organization. Most organizations have a vast amount of knowledge and expertise that exists in things like documents and emails, videos, even in people's heads throughout the organization. In the past, this tribal knowledge has been bottled up and really hard to find. But with the help of cloud and AI technology, that information and the relationships between that information and people forms a knowledge graph for your organization. AI then reasons over that information and organizes it so it can be available to people when they need it, right when they're working on projects or creating a document or even creating an email. For example, with Viva Topics, when you come across an unfamiliar topic or an acronym, just hover over the word and a topic card pops up, providing information and context about that topic. No need to search, knowledge comes to you right in the flow of where you're working. And then if you want to know more, just click on the topic card and it takes you to a topic page where you can learn more, things like definitions, relevant people, resources from across your organization, including finding experts. Viva Topics also creates a topic map to show links between related projects, helping everyone share organizational knowledge. And if you click the Viva Topics homepage, it takes you back to the Topic Center where you can explore additional topics that are relevant to you. Another example is Viva Learning, which brings learning into the flow of work by integrating learning from across your organization, including from your learning management system and third-party content providers into a single learning experience right within Microsoft Teams, making learning more discoverable, more social, and more collaborative. With the help of AI, Viva Learning also makes learning more personalized and in the context of the projects and work you're doing. Here's a summary of the innovation areas we covered. I hope this sparked some ideas of ways you can start using technology to support employees in this new world of work. As you continue to evaluate your organization's employee experience, here are some resources that get you started. First, you can learn more about the research we shared today, as well as see additional research on the future of work by visiting our Work Lab site at the link you see here. We recently launched a new tool in partnership with the Josh Bersin Academy, where you can assess your own employee experience. And if you're interested in learning more about the technology innovations we showed, you can visit viva.microsoft.com. Thank you for your time today, and I look forward to what we can accomplish together.